After years of various illnesses, Palmer passed away on November 5, 1982, saying he had done and seen everything he wanted to do. Thus began a new chapter for Helen. She kept traveling around the world with friends and family, using her travel agent perks wherever possible. She was 84 when she was hired for her last travel job.
I walked in there and Ellen said, if you could help me. I said, yes, I'm wondering, do you hire outside salespeople? He said, is this for you? I said, yes, I'm just trying to make up my mind whether I should continue selling outside travel or if I should just quit. He said, you're hired right now to do it in my office. I couldn't believe it. But then I decided it was time that I quit the travel business. But I still kept my license, so I had my real estate license for 37 years. Actually didn't do much selling, but I did a lot of listing. And since then, all I've done is manage apartments and selling them off one by one until now I only have one. And it's a 30-unit brick across the Woodland Park. And that gives me my mad money. But I'm waiting now to get an oil well in North Dakota. And here's hoping it happens. Now there's the well that's called Helen's Well. He named it Helen's Well because it's really a big producer. See, Palmer didn't want any of the Clausen estate at all. You do what you want to, but I can do what I want with mine. And I maintain it's a big lake of oil under his property. Daddy said, well, I guarantee you, under 6 months you're going to have a well because they're building a big road right alongside of your property. And that's for the big trucks, oil trucks, to haul the oil out of there. And so he said, don't worry about it. You're going to get your oil.
Helen gradually sold the duplexes and other holdings, but she kept the Finney apartment building in downtown Seattle. The Finney is on a high hill, so in the 1990s, cell phone companies came calling for roof space for antennas, hearing of an elderly building owner and thinking they could get a good deal. Little did they know.
You'd like to know how I got antennas on the Finney. The TV ad company came out there, and he thought he could sign a lease, collect the money, and not let me know about it. But the antenna company looked my phone number up in the telephone book and called me. And I told him, I said, well, I'm the sole owner of that building and nobody else has any interest. And yes, I am interested. Because I had gone and looked at where they were putting in a wireless antenna next door to the 15-unit in Edmonds. So I found out all about it, and what they did and what they had to do and what they'd pay. So I said, yes, I'd like to meet you down there. And of course, they started out, they wanted to give me $650 a month and 1-year lease. And I said, no. $850 a month, and I want a 5-year lease. And so they went for it. But they didn't know that. They had to spend $80,000 to put in all new meters and double the power into the building. So that was just great. I liked that because I wanted all new meters anyway. So now I hear somebody else calls me. That was T-Mobile on the first one. Now Singular calls, and they want to put an antenna up there. And I told them, I said, well, I don't want a straight lease. I want you to do something for me. And I want to get rid of all these fuses because the manager refuses to change a fuse, and I want all breaker boxes put in. Everywhere in the service areas, I want breaker boxes put in. And in order to do that, they had to spend $60,000. So it wasn't the monthly fee that I gained so much on, it was the extra work. Now I have another company that wanted to take over the 5 bases that I still have left, plus they wanted the 2 that I'm getting over $2,000 a month from. And I said, no way. I said I wasn't giving up the T-Mobile or Singular because they pay early every month. And they're there doing a good job. And I said, at the 5 that I have left, I'm willing to talk to you on them. But they wanted to just give me $160,000 and take them all. I said, forget it. I don't want any part of it. So that's the end of the antenna story.
For years, Helen claimed she was the same age as Jack Benny, who always claimed he was 39, no matter how old he was. Finally, when Helen was nearing her 90th birthday, the family worked hard to convince her to have a party. Relatives and friends came from near and far to congratulate Helen, and she had a ball.
Johnny had sent to Bismarck, North Dakota for my birth certificate because he wanted to prove to everybody how old I was. And I was 90 at the time. He's showing everybody that was there my birth certificate and how I couldn't lie about it anymore.
Happy birthday, Grandma! It was all hands on deck, lighting all 90 candles on the cake before it started melting. A significant amount of smoke was coming from all those candles, and the light was blinding.
Make sure Helen doesn't burn her hair.
It's getting really warm.
Don't inhale. We're going to get some pictures of this here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get video, but I'm trying to light at the same time.
Okay,
Woo, that's quite right.
ready? Out of the way. Quicker, faster, we're going to burn it up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
90 candles. Peter, my great-grandson, and Alex, my grandson, are helping me blow out the candles because they didn't think I had enough wind to blow them out, so they had to help me.
Part of Helen's legacy is an extended family that is now spread across the West Coast.
Family now consists of 16 individuals. Carol was our eldest daughter, and she's married to Douglas, and has Christine, who's married to Roger, and has my great-grandchildren is Peter and Andy, and Stephen is not married at this time. Then we have Diane, married to Gary, and she has a daughter by the name of Rita, and she has a son named Eric. Then there's Monty, who is married to Brenda, and they have 2 boys. Josh is the eldest, and then Alex. And then there's me.
Helen and her brother Cliff had a fantastic time and were treated like royalty at the Bergstrom reunion in 2004, only months before Cliff passed away at the age of 91. Helen and Diane attended the 2010 and 2012 Bergstrom reunions.
One of the most interesting things that I've done is my dad's brother Hector, his family, and his grandchildren have been having family reunions every 3 years. And the first one, Cliff and I were invited. We were royally treated. We were king and queen of the whole clan. And that was near Denver. And then we've gone to Colorado Springs. We've gone near Knoxville.
Now this is the family reunion in Tennessee, and these are all my second cousins. We had a real good time, had a real good meal catered. They had entertainment, so everybody danced. And Diane went with me, and she thoroughly enjoyed herself.
Then we also went to Boyne City, Michigan. And we were at one of my second cousin's house. So it was in the woods and on the river, very interesting. We thoroughly enjoyed it. The first time there were over 75 people there. The last time there were only about 25. I hope I can go to the next one.
What other progress has Helen observed in her lifetime?
Our medicine has made a tremendous improvement. When I was little, they didn't have penicillin. And of course, my mother died of blood poisoning because there was no antibiotics, nothing to help her, and there was nothing they could do for her. So we've made a tremendous stride in all kinds of medicine. When you used to have a gallbladder operation, you were in the hospital for 6 weeks. Now, if you're in there 4 days, it's highly unusual.
You're
One
in-
day and you're home.
Even after everything Helen has done and seen in her life, she doesn't plan on slowing down anytime soon.
Well, everybody wants to know what I do to keep busy. Well, one thing, I still manage the Finney Apartments. And I go down there and check on that maybe twice a month. And I have a resident manager, but I do all the ordering for repairs and things that have to be done down there. And I pay all the bills, keep tabs on them. So that takes up a lot of my time. And then I get the books ready for the accountant, so that takes a lot of time. I pay all my own household bills. And I like to have company. A lot of people feel real free to just walk in, they don't even rap, and I like that. I like them to feel comfortable. And I like to have people come and stay overnight because I've got plenty of room. And I like to go places. And Buck and I used to go once a week on a trip around the country to places where we hadn't been for many years. And we did hit a lot of antique shops, just for fun. We didn't do much shopping, but we did a lot of looking. And I like to go down to Diane's for Thanksgiving every year, get a chance to see the whole family. And then I go to Monty's, usually once a year. There's always some reason for it, but we go down there. And this year we're going to go because it'll be Josh's graduation from high school, which is a big event. And Bree and I go on a trip every year. And those are very, very interesting and lots of fun, and I thoroughly enjoy them. And we've been on a couple of cruises, but she gets seasick, but she still has consented to go round the Wild Islands with me this year. So here's hoping we can swing that one. And I'd like to go back to North Dakota, and I hadn't planned to go back down until I get an oil well. Then I gotta go back and watch them drill. I've been waiting 60 years for them to do this. But now they say they're going to do it this summer. Let's keep our fingers crossed and it happens. I go to Palm Springs at least once, maybe twice a year. I go down for a week to 3 weeks, have a good time down there, and do a lot of shopping and sightseeing and stuff like that. And I like to be busy. I want to tell you about my associate, my accomplice, Kim. She spoils me rotten, but she's also spoiling everybody that comes to the house. She makes the best caramel corn, and everybody usually leaves with a package of caramel corn. And the day of my birthday, we had 42 people here. She made caramel corn for everybody, so when they left, they were supposed to take a bag of caramel corn. Well, a lot of them know how good it is, and they help themselves to about 5 bags. But she'd made enough so we had plenty to go around. And I enjoyed it as much as all my friends and guests do. Stephen is very good about coming over, bringing dinner over, usually once a week. And we talk nearly every day. And I get 5 phone calls every day. They call every day, check in on me, see what I'm up to. Rodney calls me every day and up to several times a day if he has a news item that he thinks I haven't read and he wants me to be sure to read it. I do read the paper every day, and I try to keep up on current events.
Do you have any advice you would like to give to others?
Now, my policy for living a long life, having a good life, is that I don't believe in carrying your troubles forward or cluttering your mind with problems. Things that happened yesterday, you cannot change them. You can't do a thing about it. Just forget it and make tomorrow a better day. And never carry a grudge. Always try to be happy and make compliments to everybody you can. Don't criticize anybody, because we all make mistakes and we all have
different opinions, and it would be an awfully dull world if we were all alike. I was raised by my grandmother in my growing years, and I feel she must have done a pretty good job of raising me, because I've always been very happy, always content with my place in life, and I've worked real hard. I'm a workaholic naturally. I don't know if that's in my Norwegian or Swedish blood, but work has never scared me, and I feel I'm just as good as the next person. We're all human, and we're only able to do so much at a time. And I think I've been very fortunate that I've had good health and been able to do everything, most everything I wanted to do. I like the life I lead. I love the house, I love living here, and I'm glad I'm able to stay here. I've been very content with what I've been able to do.
Excellent advice from a century of experience. We can't wait to see what Helen does next after reaching her triple-digit milestone.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my own saddle underneath the western skies. On my caboose, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountain rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gazing at the moon until I lose my senses. I can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in.